Hello, my friends. Hello, everybody. 90 Days of Fiancé becomes like my favorite TV show, reality show, since I've been introduced to this season. It's like something really I want to discuss every episode of this, every moment. And of course, I couldn't miss this character from Turkey because I really got to know him from previous seasons, and this time it's like more special because he arrived to US to marry Shekinah, his fiance, and this is the only way he can actually stay in US as long as he can, as he wants. So this is the only way they can be together, and this is the pretty unique like circumstances, especially since he is more like of Eastern, like the Middle East. Turkey specifically is more conservative and more like biased country, and a lot of people don't actually know how people live there. So let's say this is like a little bit introduction of who they are.
My name is Sarper, and today is the biggest day of my life.
Let's get your visa.
To get my K1 visa.
Evidence of
Let me
relationship.
see. Let me see.
So basically, they met each other in Turkey, and Shekinah, she downloaded like dating app. This is how they met, and he already applied for 1K visa, so it's getting approved.
The way that I first met Sarper, I downloaded a dating app. I saw Sarper.
And I saw you. Oh, American. She would be a one-night stand.
I love how you're so amazed at yourself.
You're a lucky bitch.
Okay. I have a teenage daughter in boarding school. I've been going back and forth to see Sarper in Turkey. The flight is very long. I'm still afraid he could back out, because he could.
They didn't let me. They didn't permit me because I'm too handsome.
Of course, he's joking about his visa and how they didn't let him, travel to US to live there. But it was obvious that he was gonna get approved, because I don't think that anybody gets rejected because of how they are creating the conditions for this. Like, you have evidence of your relationship, and the evidence is something like undeniable, so nobody gets rejected. Nobody gets rejected by US embassy.
Pink, orgasm,
I mean, like in this reality show at least.
and K1. The three best things in this life. I am approved. That alpha male guy went away, and I got it. I don't want to think negative, but I always think negative.
Yeah.
You know that. If they say don't go, now my family's approval.
Yes.
Maybe it's a cultural difference. It's a big contradiction, It's a big conflict.
Love you.
Like, for him, like the most probably important thing is his family, because of how he was raised in Turkey. In Middle East, it's more like of a, you become a vital part of this family, like forever. It's not like you can, easily just get out of your hometown or something and it's be like it wouldn't be easy for anyone, to separate from your family. But in Turkey, especially, it's even more of a tradition, to stay as long as possible close to your parents.
Just little gifts.
Çok teşekkür ederim.
I know they're Turkish. It is an uncomfortable feeling.
Şeyi biliyorsunuz zaten, Keyvan'a başvurduğumuz zaman da biliyorsunuz.
Evet.
Saklamazsın diye düşündüm yani öyle bir şeyi.
Sonuç onayladılar.
İyi 90 günün var yani.
Ama şu anda tatile gidiyorum. 3 aylığına. Planlı bir adamım.
Evet.
Ben eğer reddedilseydim ayrılacaktım.
O derece yani.
I mean, if I was rejected,
Çok zor yani.
I would break up with you. I don't want any more long distance
Araya
relationship.
mesafe.
Bunu bir kumar gibi düşünüyorum. Play this gamble to be with you.
Bu biraz bize koyacak.
She loves you so much.
I like how, the family looks so like affected by him getting approved, but at the same time they don't actually just telling him don't go or something like it's just so rushed, or like probably they are thinking that it's just too soon, but at the same time they don't actually telling him anything, like they only seem to be encouraging traveling to US and probably even meet him there at some point, but they do not actually they can't travel there because of the visa and because of the other stuff. So this is the only probably fear, like real problem.
But you are stealing me. Evlenirsem. To survive, going there.
Cheers, sister.
He's the only one and I am the only one.
I know.
Someone
I hate
else.
that. I hope they don't end up resenting me for this. The thing I'm worried about the most is us having a bad fight, and I'm like, get out of my place. Even though they're my friends, he can call on them too. Why?
No, never do that. He will visit her home rather than they're going to live in the same house together. A side of him when he feels he's not in control.
And this is his cousin, and she's basically like a sister for both of them, because this is the closest probably ally of Shekinah in Turkey, because of how they sharing everything, how they get close, how they get really personal with each other. And probably she is talking about like Sarper and his eastern part of his personality is more like about control and about dominance. And when he gets to US, when he will be there, he will miss this huge part of him, like of his personality, because he wouldn't be in control of the place they will live, and he wouldn't be in control of the of the process of like like documentation or something. He will be forced to follow like Shekinah's lead, and it's not something he used to. This is what she's talking about.
React in a way that he wouldn't in here.
I think it's a little overly dramatic because you're a grown man and like you have never been away from them before.
It's not about being mama boy or whatever.
But you have me now.
I chose you. Baby, you saw my mother's face. Maybe that you can feel my mother's feelings. It's a little different in Turkey.
And I agree with him because of how she reacted to like him getting separate from his parents is like overly dramatic for her, but it's not necessarily that way for anyone else, because they used to be close, and it's a good thing. It's a good actually thing for anyone, because your parents is the only people you have in your entire life. You know, as long as they alive, it's okay to be close, and it's not anything you should be ashamed of, you know, like. And probably she was raised, not even probably, it's obviously she was raised completely like another way, and you know, she cannot just get it.
You cannot get it.
Look at my family. I mean, how supportive they are. And it's a big contrast.
It's a big contrast. He's right, because
There's a lot
completely
of facial
different
stuff
cultures.
here, obviously, because I'm a licensed esthetician and it's a live workspace.
You don't cook anything, for example, for breakfast, eggs or something like that.
It's not a big deal, babe.
That was a huge ambush for Sarper, since he used to cook, he used to, you know, maintain his body, you know, to be more of a healthy man, and she didn't tell anything of this. Like, you wouldn't get any, like, you know, cooking stuff or something, because I'm working at home, so there is like equipment and stuff, and there's no way you can be there, so you just need to leave the fucking place when I'm working. And this is not fair, actually, because you have to be transparent at the beginning.
Everywhere is full of her equipment.
Most of my clients are female, and I don't want them to feel uncomfortable that a man is in the room. Why are you examining the toilet?
And this is almost kind of sexist, because most of them are female. Okay, this is okay, but I think Sarper is so like genuine person. You can actually just, you know, introduce him as your boyfriend, and I think he, in contrary, he makes everybody comfortable rather than uncomfortable. And he could even create your working space even more comfortable for your clients. You know, this is the way she cannot think. She only think about it like a problem, not about like good sides of the situations, you know. Like, he arrived, he is a man, so we need some, you know, like privacy, and of course, like, I don't really understand, like, you know, the way she's thinking. Like, it's completely different from what I'm thinking.
Toilet.
You don't have duvet?
She didn't tell me anything about those.
Fire, wheel, internet, and duvet.
That's unfair.
You will be the first girl that I will impress, you know that?
Beaches of LA. Are you ready for Sarper? I couldn't imagine that I will have a body count of 25.
Body count of 2,500 women is something I would never believe in, because of how huge this number is. Even if it's not even something I should take seriously, it's still fucking, you know, unbelievable number of women, you know, to have sex with. And to exaggerate this to 2,500, it should be either you like have, you know, the confidence to say that, or either like you actually think that this number is so huge so you cannot even keep up with that number, you know. It's basically like it's just abnormous, you know.
500. You know what? Probably Baywatch gave me the motivation to be the Sarper.
Why don't you just get to know the neighborhood that we live in?
When you are working, if I come here, is there a problem for you, for example?
They basically they talk about the huge like part of him settling, like to go to get to know the neighborhood they live in, or like to spend more time like on this shore on the beach side, you know, to like work out, to do other stuff. But of course she like more of a possessive woman. She prefers him to be like in other situations rather than, you know, walking topless, you know, in front of other women, something like this.
I can't have Sarper upstairs listening to all of this. They're half undressed, and it would be very unprofessional to have a man there. My clients get very personal with me. The things my clients share with me are shocking.
But like, I don't even know if I could call it hooking up, because he'd go to put it, it would just go.
Again, based on what just your client said, you know, I think that Sarper would be just perfect match to the vibe like they have during this procedure, because she's talking about some stuff happened to her, like it's obviously something like you can discuss with the other person as well, because it's not necessarily should be that serious. Like this procedure, it doesn't even look like something really serious, you know. So I think like this is so like, I don't know, it's like a limited mind of her to think this like a man would be a distraction rather than, you know, good addition to this process.
Sarper's really here. He's a real person.
I'm in shock still.
I know.
We're down the street with you. Just jog to my place. We'll go to the pool.
And I'm going to comment a lot, so get used to it, because, you know, we have friends, we have sisters, we have daughter, we have a lot of people, and everybody needs to be introduced. And of course, this is my type of content, so it's necessarily to talk about everyone. And I really like how friends, specifically the couple between French guy and this black woman dressing this black dress. You know, I really like how they so positive, and I really like how they like welcome him, and they didn't really, you know, like accepted, they didn't really approve him in previous season when Shekinah and Sarper participated. But, you know, when they like met him face to face, it's completely different situation, and they see that this is a person like they want to know, like they want to get to know about him something even more, so they just even invited him to their place, you know.
So for now you're here for 3 months?
Like we need.
You have 90 days to marry.
Because for you to stay longer here.
Even if you pay me, I wouldn't stay. He was just trying to step on me.
That I would be a better, you know, a better guy to be with.
You are not her type, you know? You know, there are some boys, cat guys. Some guys are dog guys.
Maintaining his composure through all of this.
And it's too dangerous.
I like the reaction, you know, on the bad guys, dog guys comment, like
Boys, cat guys. Some guys are
I think that they really appreciate the company of Sarper, because the reaction, the smiles on their faces, it speaks volumes. You know, you can see the reaction, you can see the smile, and it's just enough for you to feel like comfortable in this situation, because ain't nobody gonna be that positive, and there is at least two people that are welcoming, and they are so like genuinely positive,
dog guys.
Maintaining his composure through all of this.
And it's too dangerous to poke the bear that much,
And when she brought him out here, she's committed to him. Sarper made a huge sacrifice for leaving his actual family.
You don't deserve that. I'm sorry. Like, what is that? I'm done with this. Look, brother.
And what that was, I think it was just a setup for Sarper to again, to poke him and to make him get angry. This is what it was, especially since he has something like in past happened, something negative, and when he just lost his control, and he tends to lose control, but now he's like completely different person, and they put this French guy to set up Sarper, to create this drama and to like pressure him, and that was embarrassing, because I think this is like something for this French guy especially is so embarrassing, because it looks like he's going for debates that happens later on, and he's gonna be in the studio episode when they gonna discuss everything, face to face, and I think like he's gonna be like some part of this.
Look, brother.
Okay, what actually I think that what actually makes this season interesting for me is how they putting Sarper in this uncomfortable position, but at the same time we remember that he was so comfortable in Turkey when she kind of arrived there, and she was coming to Turkey, like she was going back and forth to Turkey to meet him there, and that was so uncomfortable for her, and now they like switched places, so now it's like for him to feel uncomfortable.
Sarper.
I'm glad that you didn't lower yourself to his level. The problem is Sophie has heard a lot of negative things from my family about Sarper. So,
For example, when I met with Shiraya,
My aunt. And I know that you have had that rough patch with like how you were talking about with Shreya. I want more of like a better impression for all of them.
And this is your daughter, the only probably daughter she has, and her approval is something like really important for her, of course. And this is not only about approval or something, it's more about like being a part of this family, because this family is so huge, and there were five sisters of Shekinah, and there is like one daughter, there is friends, a lot of people,
For all of them.
and they all like considered to be a part of this reality show, at least like for this season,
eldest of 6 sisters, and 3 of them have agreed to meet up with us today.
I'm sure it's quite a culture shock just being in a place like this even.
I think they are really similar as people, though.
So this is the perfect time to introduce a little bit more everyone from her family, especially since she has 5 sisters. We can see that, and she already said that the 3 of them is actually agreed to meet Sarper, and other part of this family just prefer to stay away from this situation, or probably from cameras, from being on a reality show on the screen, you know. Not everybody likes it. So we can see that like 5 sisters, and the other woman is the partner of a gay sister of Shekinah's, because she has 2 sisters. Based on her words, they like date women, and 2 of them date men, and one of them are probably 2 of them are single, something like this, you know. And this is like the whole picture of what your family is like, you know. Apart from her parents, I don't really know anything about them, but this like sisterhood, it looks pretty impressive. I mean, like, it's getting some vibe, you know, from like TV show, like Vampire Family or something, you know. And we can actually just compare it to like recent TV show about vampires, about the family of vampires. It's just getting the same vibe, you know. Like, I watched this Love Sucks TV show, and I remember how that family is so similar. I mean, like, in terms of the vibe, in terms of the, you know, like how they represent themselves, you know. And everybody seems so serious, and at the same time they look like, you know, like actors, like they are really like famous people, you know, like they all are beautiful, they all just creating this picture of, you know, like Kardashian's family or something, like really famous people. But at the same time, we can see that really, like, all of them just are artists. They do tattoos, artists. They do not really do anything like publicly, you know. They do have social medias, but they do not really attend any reality shows. Only Shekinah does, you know. So this is like the first time they actually agreed on something like this. And she even said that they respect their privacy more than just appearing on some reality shows, you know, and that they do not really like it to be in front of the cameras, you know. Again, this is like really interesting people to get to know, because they are so like, you know, closeted. I mean, in terms of the how they just make this first impression, you know, how they represent themselves, how they represent, it's more like of a, you know, this cold look, you know, like neutral face, poker face. You don't know really what, like, how you should, you know, like, whether you should like them or whether you should like being afraid of them, you know. Like, it's like confusing. Something like Sarper even said that it's really confusing him to be like in this situation, you know.
Hi, Sarper. I'm Sayana.
Sayana.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hey.
I mean, we didn't make a good start with you, especially.
Happened when my sister Shreya came to Turkey to meet Sarper.
She acts like a slut.
What I see from him is someone who wants to have control.
Yeah, I don't like that mindset.
When I see you guys, all of you are full of tattoos.
You have tattoos, what are you talking about?
We have this situation that happened when Shekinah's sister arrived in Turkey and they got in a huge argument about how Sarper just in control of everything and how he is trying to control Shekinah and dictate her how she should act or something. So this is like, of course, this is just so contrasting to what they used to, because in the US it's more like of a free lifestyle for everyone, and you can like decide what type of life you prefer, you know, what type of life you want to live your life, what type of lifestyle you want to be. And what actually makes it different from Turkey is that Turkey is mostly like Muslim country, and it's so like conservative in the first place, you know, and probably this difference just taking its toll, you know.
I don't like that mindset.
When I see you guys, all of you are full of tattoos.
You have tattoos, what are you talking about?
Do you all have geisha vibes like her? She does everything, so working, she cooks. But I changed it, you know? Right now I'm listening to you.
And everything, whatever Shekinah is trying to like say to save Sarper, whatever she is trying to, you know, protect him. Every sister of her is trying to be kind of, you know, overly negative or something, because whatever he says is just dead on arrival. Whatever he says is already like taken negatively, you know. It's gonna be taken negatively because probably this is the part of the reality show when you should be this intense to create this, you know, type of drama and to make it feel like, you know, that intense, you know, you should be like this. Probably out of the cameras, they are a little bit easy, not like this, you know, and probably they are more like welcome people than we see right now.
Now I'm listening to you.
So after the conversation with Shekinah's sisters, I think that they have pretty much potential to create this reality show this season specifically even more interesting, because they can put all the sisters in future debates. They can put them in the same studio with other contestants. They can put a lot of different personalities like together, and it's gonna be like you know, something really big, like. And I can even imagine how it plays out, because we have throuple, we have Sarper and Shekinah, we have other couples, and we have 5 sisters of Shekinah's. So it's gonna be like mind-blowing debates or something, if it's gonna be.
Sarper's missing.
Try to find him.
Why do we have to send money through this man?
And what we can actually see from this preview is that at some point we can see Sarper missing, because she said that she's nowhere to be found, and like the day before wedding he got missing and they trying to find him. So I don't think this is a huge of a problem. This is probably like only a little part from this situation, and probably he just went somewhere to get his things, like to work out or something, and they just made this cliffhanger to hype on it, like this is what it is. I think this is not any of like this is not like he's really missing. I don't believe in it.
Try to find him.
Why do we have to send money through this man?
But I believe in this shit. Like this throuple was already in a huge trouble, and they just found out that the third party of their relationship, Annie, is completely different person that she pretends to be, and that she's not even Annie. She has different name.
Her name is Brenda. Hi, Brenda.
And we're gonna see at some point that the Brenda personality is what actually, was in this relationship, that was completely different person. And I don't think that this is something like to drag out it on like 2-3 episodes. It's probably like just one-time situation, and they're gonna just solve it, So, and after this, something like they just forgave her, and something like she gets away with this, I don't think this is gonna be a turning point for them. I don't think that this is gonna be the end of their relationship. I think this is just another argument, another part of this reality show and drama overall, And probably they even created this fake personality of Annie for a reason, to reveal it at some point, and to make it even more, again, surprising for viewers or something. I'm not really surprised, to be honest. She was that type of a person who, like, you cannot trust really because of a lot of things she says or how she acts. You can tell that this is probably something, to think about twice before, you going in a relationship with.
Name is Sarper, and today is the...
And I probably missed on something I wanted to share with you. And probably we're gonna just talk a little bit more about the family of Shekinah and about her previous season in 90 Days of Fiancé. It wasn't really that of a good season. It was like, for me, it was like just normal season, nothing I want to discuss from that season, There was some good characters, but most of them just, they just fading, when we have Shekinah and Sarper, everybody just gets faded away, you know, like it's not even up to point. And again, she has friends, pretty good career, and we can see a lot of like appearances, public appearances. She has her life going on, like her personal life and her public appearance, and she is doing both. And again, about her family, when we see like that contrast between Turkey and US, we understand that there should be completely different like type of people and completely different type of, you know, like situations to get into. And I think this is like what I really like about this season, because the contrast creates another type of entertainment, just, you know, on the level that any other reality show cannot do. And this is the type of reality show I really prefer because of that contrast from different like between cultures, between different, like, you know, countries. And we can see that, for example, every member of Shekinah's family is tattoo artist or just some type of an artist, you know. They all do tattoos, like they all work in this like industry, you know. And almost everybody full of tattoos, of course. And I really like how, you know, like it's so authentic, it's so like it's reflects on the actual personality, because they act accordingly, you know, like. And we can see the sister that really right now that is the most problem for Sarper, because she's the most probably negative towards him, and this is the only problem he has to solve. Like if he managed to get along with this Shariah, sister of Shekinah, if she managed to get along with her, everybody else, every other sister is just the least problem for him, you know. Because if he gets along with this woman, he gets along with everybody else. I'm telling you, this is the only person this is the only person he should be focused on, and he should be putting all the efforts to get along with this woman, with this sister of Shekinah's. And other sisters, they are not even I think they are not even that close to Shekinah, or something. Like they didn't even agree to appear on reality show, so it's not even probably their priority to be there, you know. So the only person she actually listens to is her sister Shariah. So this is like my opinion on the situation and on what's going on with these characters. So let's see what happens. And next time we have probably another episode of this drama to talk about because of debates approaching, and we have 5 more episodes of this like format of them arriving to US and getting used to it. And other than that, we have a couple of episodes of debates, which is the most interesting part of this reality show, probably because I like anything when it comes to different personalities and different people arguing about something. Like, it's always interesting to watch, at least like for me, So thank you for watching. See you next time with another episode of 90 Days of Fiancé. And thank you. See you later. Goodbye.